Hello everybody, my name is Pat Brackenberry. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I run a group called Crafting Bunny and I do online and in-person classes. So this today is just a quick video to put on my YouTube, and I'm just going to change my camera around and be back with you in one moment. There we go. We're now ready to have a go at some crafting. So today I thought I'd make a quick card just to demonstrate to you some of the products that we use, and one of the ones that I particularly like at the moment is this one, Words of Cheer. It's quite a simple stamp set, plenty of sentiments, just one image, and I'm going to create a card with this for today. So if you wanted to make this card, you first of all need to get some white cardstock to create your card base. So let's gather everything together that we need. So the card base is going to be 21 centimeters by 14.8, and we will score that at 10.5. So if you want to get more than one card out of one sheet of A4 cardstock, my tip to you is to just cut it at the 14.8 on the long edge. That would be classed as landscape, and if you just cut it across there, you end up with two card bases, which is always very useful if you want to get two cards out of one piece of cardstock. So just pop one piece to one side, and then with one side just turn it round to landscape again and just score it at the 10.5. And there you have your card base all ready. So on a scrap of Wistful, well, basic white, I'm going to stamp my image. And my image for this piece of creation is going to be from the Words of Cheer card, and I'm going to take the large image, pop it onto a stamping block. I use Memento for stamping images, so when you've got a large image like this, it's best if you put it onto the stamp block and ink it on the stamp block, because you'll not get it covered in the ink otherwise, and obviously you need to make sure that the whole thing is covered in ink. So just, this is a scrap. Before you think I'm stamping on the card, that's the base, just put it to one side. So this is just some scrap card, and I shall cut the image out. There we have the image. Let me just bring the camera down a bit further so you can see better. So there's the image, and I'm just going to do a bit of colouring. I think nice to do a bit of colouring, quite relaxing. So find my colours that I'm going to need, and today I'm going to use the Real Red, the dark one, I think. Yeah, the dark Real Red. I'm going to use Old Olive Light, and I think I might use a bit of Shaded Spruce, because that's a different colour green. That one. And then last but not least, I'm going to use, I think, another colour, but I'm not quite sure which colour I'm going to use yet. I'm going to start with these ones and then see what happens. So I tend to start, oh, I know what it was Daffodil Delight. There we go, dark Daffodil Delight, because I need that for the centre of the poinsettias. So I'm going to start with that one first. So this is, and these are for the centres of the poinsettias. So let's bring it down a bit further so you can see it more. Hopefully you can see that clearly. So just to colour in on the poinsettia. like that. So I pop that to one side because I don't need that anymore. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on the poinsettias. So I'm going to go with dark. I might actually start with a bit of the light first, because then I can emphasize the centres. These pens are brilliant because they've got a thick end and they've also got a thin end, so when you want to do anything really delicate you've got a thinner end to use, and larger areas obviously for the thick side. So, and the beauty of this is the fact that because they're all the same flower, I can use the thicker end and I can colour a bit quicker. There you go. Makes life a bit easier if you can colour it in a bit quicker when you can see. I can leave those sort of edges and I can swap over and use the thinner one in a minute just to finish off, but the majority of the leaves I can colour quite quickly. So just do this one as well. Okay, so I'm just going to zip ahead, and don't think you want to sit here watching me colour. So I'm just going to zip on and I will be back in a minute with it all. Okay, so I've now coloured in all the poinsettias, and I'm just using the thinner edge to just go round and fill up any gaps that I might have left, just to make it a little bit more complete before I move on to the dark colour to do the centres. So I'm taking the dark real red now, and I'm just going to go round the edges of the centre flowers just to give it a little bit more depth. And then what I might actually do is use an even different red, maybe something a bit more with a bit of darkness to it, just so that it shows up a bit more. So I'm just going around the points like that of the poinsettia in the middle. And I think I'm going to use a cherry cobbler in a minute to add a little bit more colour and depth to the poinsettia. There we go, nearly there. That's it. So I'm now going to grab the cherry cobbler. So find the cherry cobbler, that's the first thing you need to do. Here we go. This is the light cherry cobbler, so this is slightly different. Don't want the thick end, want the thin end. Just add some shading to the leaves. And hopefully you can see that that is giving the actual leaf a little bit more depth. That's it. There we go. So now we're going to move on to the berries. So I'm going to take the dark real red and I'm just going to go around and do all these berries. I'll be back with you in a minute. There we are, we're back again, and I've now sat and done the berries. So I'm now going to move on to the holly leaves, and I'm going to start with the light old olive, and I'm just going to colour in all the leaves, and I'm using the thin edge as well this time on this one. There's not too many leaves, so I'm sure that you don't mind waiting for me to do this bit. It's quite relaxing, I would imagine, watching somebody else doing the colouring. So don't forget, when you're watching this, to subscribe to my channel, and if you like it, please do feel free to click on that like button. There we go. I'm using, this is the dark old olive, just to emphasize those little bits of the holly leaf. So now I'm moving on with the shaded spruce, and this is the light one, and I'm just going to go over these leaves here, and it's very easy to miss them, so hopefully I won't miss any before we move on. And the beauty of these is that you don't have to wait for them to dry, they dry almost instantly. There we go, nearly there. You just have to do a quick scan to make sure that there's none missing. Doesn't take too long. Okay, so there we have the finished bit of colouring. So I can push all those pens to one side. So I'm just going to quickly pause this a minute while I just cut it out, because all these have got die cuts in them. Not every stamp set from Stampin' Up does have, but this particular one has, which makes it much easier for cutting out. So you just have to keep turning around until you find the one that fits. So I'm just going to quickly put that on the die cutting machine and cut it out. So bear with me one moment. So here we are, we're back again now, having cut out the image. I'm now trimming a piece of card that I'm going to use to emboss some cardstock. So I just need to cut off that end bit. And I just need to change the size of the card so that it's going to fit on my card front. And we have one layer, so I'm now going to choose another layer, and I'm going to choose the real red. So this piece needs to be slightly bigger than that piece, because I want to make sure that it's got a border of the red. So I'm going to make this piece 14.5. And make it 10.2. So that should fit, and give a border like that. I'm going to emboss this piece, so I've got an embossing folder that I'm going to use here, and it's got some images of Christmas on it, so I'm going to put that through the embossing machine. So here you can see I've embossed that piece of cardstock, and that's going to sit on the top of the red. So I need something in the middle, and I think I'm going to use some ribbon in the middle. So let's get some Christmassy type ribbon. So here we go. There's a bit of Christmassy type ribbon. It's got a bit of sparkle on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that around the ribbon, around the panel rather, not around the ribbon. And I am going to use some double-sided tape for this. So put the double-sided tape across the back, and all that does is that just helps keep the ribbon in one place. Just stick it down a bit more. Okay, I think I might actually also add something else as well. So I've got some gold paper, so some gold cardstock across that as well would be making it look a bit more Christmassy. So yeah, I think that would make it look a bit more Christmassy across there, but I'm not going to do a big piece. I don't want a huge piece of cardstock, so I'm just going to I'm going to make it about 2 centimetres in width. And remembering that the card width is 14.5, so just trim it down to 14.5. In actual fact, it's 10.5, isn't it? Because it's the length that's 14.5, so let's take it down to 10. Okay. Okay. So if I put my ribbon, leaving enough twine so that I can make a bow if I want to. So quickly turn it over and glue that in place. Now I can tie my ribbon round. I think I might try it a couple of times and see how that goes. Or on the back, I think. I've got it tied around there twice now. A bit of readjustment might be required, but I've probably got enough now to do a bow on the end. See if that works. Always a good idea is to tie your bow first before cutting the ribbon, so that you know you've got plenty of length. So there we've got, and I've left it slightly crossed to give that bit of effect, and maybe just line the bow up a little bit more. So now we can place our die cut image over the top, and I'm going to use dimensionals on this one, so find my dimensionals. Trying to use up some of my old ones before I open another packet. So, now to decide which way round. So looks quite good that way. Equally looks quite good that way. I think actually I prefer that way. There we go. So now, very quick card, very simple card. We can now go on to the red. Bit of glue on that. Oops. Bringing our card base back into the frame, just going to quickly go over with the bone tool on the crease so it lies flat. And there we have a very quick and simple Christmas card. That didn't take me too long to make, but I think makes it quite. I think the only thing missing at the moment is some gems, so let's find some red gems to put onto that card. There we go, where are the red ones? There we go, there's some red ones. So I think some crystally red ones would look quite nice on that one, So let's just put needs a bit of glue on it, I think. Obviously they've been in my box for a while. So put one there. I'm going to put a couple in. And then the only thing to work out is what sentiment to put on here. A couple of gems on there, so I just need a sentiment to go on here as well. So the sentiments available to me in here, in this, that is on the front, this this stamping one. So I think I like the one, I like Wishing You a Joyful Christmas. That's quite a nice one. So I just need some probably some DSP, no, some cardstock. I think I'm going to stamp it onto the white cardstock, and then I'm going to do some red behind it. So let's find the sentiment. It's one that I've used before, obviously, because it's already out of the packet. And we're going to go for the real red. Keep it into the Christmas theme, I think. So I'll stamp it on here. And now I need to trim it down. cards out of the way. So I'm going to trim it quite close. And the beauty of the trimmer is you have like a little window in the middle there, so you can see how close you are to the lettering. So I don't want it to cut the lettering off, obviously, but I just want to be and the same on the top. And just trim off. So that's quite close to the lettering, but not too close. So I've got a scrap of the white or the red here, so I'm just going to glue that onto the red. If I take it up to the corner, then I obviously have got an edge already. I've just got to trim off the bottom bit. So if I get my trimmer again, I can then see how close I am to the white. Yep, that's a good one. And then the same thing on the other side. So it gives me just a very small border. So then I can put that on the Christmas card. I could position it over the flowers, but then you lose some of the flowers, so you've got to be careful where you position. So I think the bottom is better than the top. I could just slip it underneath and have some of the greenery on there as well. And again, I'm going to use some dimensionals because I think it looked better if it's sort of slightly standing up or out off the card a bit. So as I said, I use up every part of the dimensionals. Waste not, want not. There we go. Just going to slide that underneath that bit on, not too much. Don't want to knock the I've got the gems there as well, so I need to make sure I don't cover those up. There we go. I think that's one finished card. So if you're interested in having a look at my Crafting Bunny group, then you can find me on Facebook. If you just drop a comment in this video on YouTube to say you want to look at the Crafting Bunny, it is invitation only, so you do need to make sure you contact me first to actually get the link to it, and then I can invite you to join. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.